Hey guys, I actually didn't really want to make this video, but I have to. I think Arena Breakout is in a really bad state and I want to talk about it, like with full transparency, uncensored, just share my opinion, share my way of thinking, and I think many of you are going to relate. So, we could say that Delta Force hit Arena Breakout really hard. And this is pretty much true, but not because Delta Force is so much better. It's more like an alternative people can choose because Arena Breakout is killing itself by making decisions and heading towards a direction which the audience doesn't want to see. Let's check the main struggles. Why I feel like Arena Breakout is destroying itself. It doesn't give you enough joy on the long run, and it doesn't give you enough objectives and goals. Therefore, for some players, it becomes frustrating, or they get stressed or anxious or whatever. For others, it becomes boring. Let's start with team versus solo gameplay experience. So if you play as a solo, you're gonna suffer a lot. You are not going to extract too many times, but on the other hand, it feels like that solo is the only way where you can do real money. I heard that from many players that if they play solo, if they play it slow and open the saves and stuff like that, then they can actually do money, which is only true if you are not having like the highest loadout. Think of something like a T4 and like semi-decent gun. You have all the keys equipped, you have the map knowledge, you are somewhat lucky and you're not being rushed by a giga chat team, you're not ratted, ratted, and if the stars are aligned, then you can actually extract with lots of money, 500,000 or even up to 1 million. But the downside is that you have to suffer a lot. It's time consuming, and often it's frustrating because you get outnumbered and you feel it's just not fair. In the most recent dev talk, Samivan has been actually highlighting this specific thing, that from season to season it gets harder to play solo. The audience, the players are just getting better at the game. That's one of the reasons. And also the nature of the game doesn't benefit the solo players. You can get one tapped, or you get a face shot, or trash ammo penetrates through your armor and stuff like that. So solo experience is lonely, hard, and over time it becomes repetitive and ultimately even boring, I would say. On the other hand, if you play as a team, that's much more fun, I gotta tell you. Join any of the squads, talk with them, have fun, don't blame each other, just play the game. But in that case, you're not gonna make too much profit, even if your teammates are returning your stuff if you die. And this is because the team gameplay is just different. You need to align the way you move and the way you play to your team. For example, if somebody dies, then you are not going to spend 30 minutes running around on the map and opening all the safes. And yes, you gain some stuff, but you are also risking more, because I forgot to tell, but if you are playing with a team, then most likely you're gonna be running T5 or T6 and better ammunition, so the overall risk from your end is higher, which is then compensated by the fact that they are returning your stuff. But playing as a team is not as rewarding as playing solo and performing really well. I think you can relate to that. If you have another opinion, I don't mind. Let me know in the comment section. I've been playing 7 games with my friends from Mexico, Mr. Kiev and the gang, and out of 7 games, I extracted 5 times, okay? Which I think on TV station is really good. And even with this setup, I didn't actually make any real profit. So what the hell you need to do in this game to actually make profit? And the answer is actually really simple. It's straight here in front of your eyes. You either need to start ratting, for example, or you need to find a team of thermals, but even that is very risky. And you need to play the game in a way which is not that fun, to be honest. But let's move on, because this leads to the second problem actually. So yeah, what if you start grinding money? What's the difference between having 10 million storage value, 15 million, 25, 50 million, 70 million, 300 million? There is actually freaking no difference. I'm sitting on 30 million now, and sometimes I don't even mind anymore if I find good stuff on the map or not. Sometimes I don't even know why I play. And I think the only reasonable answer would be that I play for the PvP part of the game, because that part is exciting. Yes, and don't even remind me about server desync and the random shot. Let's forget about that. Even with those, the PvP part of the game is exciting. It gives you that adrenaline rush, and if you kill somebody like with a one-tap headshot, it just feels good. I'm not feeling better if my storage value is going up from 30 million to 50 million, because it doesn't give me any type of advantage. The only thing storage value can do for you is that in case you start losing money or losing your stuff, you have more attempts, and basically you just can lose more. But I can buy myself everything I want to. I can play any gun I want to. I have everything unlocked. There's nothing beyond this point. There's nothing to fight for. And that's one of the big problems. So why should we actually care about building a storage value? And if not this, then what's the actual objective of the game? If this is the main objective of the game, then this on its own is not going to be enough to carry people from one season to another. Okay, at least this is how I see it. I'm not sure if I ever shared it, but it would have been way better that if after every season your storage value is gone, vanished, and there's a reset and you need to restart, because then every single season you have a new objective. You need to start from zero or from minimal amount of money and start, grinding and trying to reach more than what you reached in the previous season, or, try another technique. But this way, it's just, it's just meaningless. I also think that if there would be a reset after every season, then people would start actually using T6 thermal and better guns, because they know that it's not that big of a risk, because if I don't risk it, the game is going to take it away anyways. But in this version we have now, we are just sitting on the money, and we are not equipping T6 and highest ammunition, because, and that's again a problem, it's actually often not worth it. Okay, it's just not worth it. You have to grind a lot to make 1 million or 2, like depending on your skill obviously, but you need to grind a lot, like maybe even hours, to have successful raids in a row, not to die. Like extract with 300,000, then 500,000, like building it up. You make 2 millions, and then if you dress up in T6 and good ammunition, M62s, M61s, BS or whatever, and good gun, then you lose it in let's say 1.5 hours or even less, and then it's gone. And then it's gone. And then you obviously ask yourself, was it worth the time? Like, was it worth grinding? And if the game would be designed in a way where you are actually having tons of fun while you are playing the game, then I wouldn't even mind about this aspect, because you would say that, hey, I was just playing for the sake of playing. I didn't have any like major, goals or such. But Arena Breakout games can be stressful. People over the microphone are arguing with each other for stealing each other's loot, like loot goblins. Why do we have loot goblins? It's because, again, because of the concept, how the game is designed. They try to steal because Literally, they are forced to do it because otherwise, it's really hard to make money. Arena Breakout is hardcore, and this is why it's so hard to make money. I would be really okay with that. I mean, really. But why didn't we keep it like that? Season 1, if you remember, if you were here, it was the toughest season. If I extracted with 200,000 or 250, I was super proud of myself. And that was the only season where I didn't reach legend, okay? And what happened since then? Every single season, every single time, the game has been made more casual. And by now, it's so casual that on top of secure ops, we even have a money maker mode, which I have absolutely no clue how to position in my head. Secure ops was like an okay addition. Like, okay, let's have something where people can practice, okay? But then moneymaker mode, like doing something for completely free, or guys, I literally don't understand why we have this. And this wasn't the only thing. Like in general with events, I just had enough. I stopped caring about events because there were just too many. Too many. It didn't even fit into the screen. I talked about that. And not just events, but game modes and, the faction stuff. This is all cool if it's being made special. Like you have the core game and then you have one extra stuff you can play. And then everybody wants to play that because it's special, it's temporary. But if you have 15 things running in parallel, which are temporary, then you just don't care anymore. Like you don't even have the time to try them or to understand them. So for me, this is literally one of the worst decisions that they have made to spam the game with so many events and game modes. And then at the same time, they removed port lockdown. I don't really understand the reason why lockdown port has been removed. By the way, the peak AB was season 3, and I think season 4 it started to decline, and it really got bad in season 6 and 7. Nothing really changed. Season 8, I had high hopes. I had high hopes that they're gonna somehow turn it around, but it feels like they didn't. I know many of you have issues with the pink skins and those futuristic weapons. I don't care that much about that. But what I feel is that in season 1, when we had the first knife, the very first knife, I think it's a tiger shark knife or something like that, I purchased that for real money. And I purchased that knife for my son as well for real money, not bonds I received for creating videos or such, because it was the only skin, it was the first skin, and I felt like that it has some value. It makes it special, like my appearance. But then they started adding more and more over time, like so many skins that you couldn't even follow. Even as a creator, sometimes I didn't even have time to try and showcase the skins. Like, for fuck's sake, why do we have a new skin every single week? And I understand that this is one of the main income sources for the devs, but make it somehow structured. Like have, I don't know, 2 skins per season or something. I don't care if my stock is like blue and the muzzle is golden and the magazine is like red. I don't care. Sometimes I don't even enable the skins for the weapon. I just want to play the game. One of the problems I faced is that it just takes too much time for many to dress up and then we have to wait lots of time in the lobby. I don't know why people are not, more concerned about their precious time, but sometimes they really need to wait for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, then somebody has to leave, then somebody else joins who again has to dress up, and basically you end up waiting 30 minutes in the lobby. Then you start the game, and for example on TV you have a near spawn you kill one person, the next one kills you, but your team is still alive, and then you wait for, let's say, another 25 minutes just to spectate them, which is cool. Okay, it can happen. Okay, you pretty much spend 1 hour doing nothing. Okay, and then you repeat. You dress up again, you wait for your teammates to dress up, and then eventually you die again in the next game, which actually sucks because then you lost 2 hours of your life. And I'm not sure about you, but even if you are, attending a school and don't have to work or don't have family, like wasting 2 hours for nothing, like literally nothing, it's not worth the time. That's my opinion. In my case, it's even worse. Like, after work, in between, other things, recording, editing, spending time with the family, doing stuff around the house, like wasting 2 hours for me, it's not something I can fit into my life. This is also one of the reasons why I was often playing solo, because at least if you play solo or with randoms, you die and then you just restart and you don't care. You don't lose too much time. But with this approach, we pretty much came back to the beginning. So if you play solo, then the risk is higher, then you save time, but you're not going to survive in Kamona. And, it's like an endless cycle, an endless struggle. It's like, having to bite one of your fingers and you don't know which to bite because you don't want to bite any of your fingers. You want to have fun. And this is why Delta Force is dominating now. In Delta Force, you don't just have the operations mode, you also have the warfare. You have everything that is needed to satisfy this type of gamer audience. Even those people who were fully committed to play Arena Breakout, look at them today. They play Delta Force or they play something else. Until now, there was literally no other choice. And again, let me highlight, I don't feel that Delta Force is better. In terms of PvP and the overall atmosphere of the game, I lean towards Arena Breakout. I think it's more realistic. I like it. It's more tense. It increases your heart rate. It comes with adrenaline. And obviously this can also be achieved with Delta Force, because you can also have exciting games over there, but it's different because in Arena Breakout you are playing it slow. In most of the cases it's slow, and it has like a bigger stake, like compared to 5 versus 5 bomb planting games or Delta Force Warfare, Code Mobile, or Battle Royale games. This genre, the extraction shooter, is just, much more for mature people who can handle, these type of situations. In Delta Force operations mode, I don't really feel that, because people are not gonna slow walk over there. Like, certainly there will be some players like ratting and playing it slow or trying to adopt the Arena Breakout style, but most of the players are just gonna run. Like, it's more fast paced. It's about movement, positioning, running, being quick. It's not about ratting, camping, sniping. If I hope you understand what I mean. I think that community is going to be faster and less ratty. Here in Arena Breakout, we have either rats with bad gear, we have chads with insane skills, and then they team up and then they destroy you, and then we have also chads who are ratting. So it's becoming a bit toxic in my opinion. Like why can't people take it a bit more easy? And we already answered that, guys. So people cannot take it easy because then in 2 hours time they're gonna lose their whole fucking storage value. That's why they are not taking it easy. This is why they are arguing on chat and voice. Like, even friends, like, who's gonna pick it up? No, it was my kill. No, it was your kill. Guys, come on. This is a game. This is a game which should be fun. And over the last couple of weeks, I stopped having fun and also lost the objective. Like, why should I grind even more money? It just doesn't make sense for me. So what I'm gonna do is that I think I'm just gonna play the game and start losing money. Like start losing it all. I'm just gonna attach the the flashlight, dress up in T6, M61, and enter the maps and play until I die, because I pretty much guarantee that in most of the games I'm gonna die anyways. It's not gonna make me a superhero, but at least it's gonna be fun, like to destroy some of the chats or something. Guys, I think this is enough. I don't want to make it like super long. I could have talked about many other issues, but I gotta tell you that I'm really sad. I'm really sad because I love Arena Breakout. I love it still today. But something has to happen. Something has to happen to satisfy people. And if they cannot satisfy me, then that's a problem, because I can tolerate a lot. Okay, much more than many of the people out there. I can tolerate if I need to wait for something, or if I'm not gonna jump over to another game just because they didn't release a skin or something, or they did a change. I'm not that type of person. I was always loyal and committed to pretty much like everything I love. But this is getting too much. I didn't even apply for season 9 beta. Why should I? I mean, what can they show to revert this? And if you got to this point of the video, I'm happy, because it means that you were interested in what I have to say. And all I have to say that you should enjoy whatever you play, and obviously take care, have fun, and enjoy the day. Bye.